Hello, Phyllis. Look at your brony. Now back to me. Now back at your brony. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me, but if he stopped using Phyllis scented body wash and switched to apple spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a farm with the stallion your brony could smell like. What's in your hoof? Back to me. I have it. It's a scroll with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now gemstones. Anything is possible when your brony smells like apple spice and not a filly. I am a horse.
Yep.